All right. What's happening, people? What's up? We're going to talk about the three biggest training mistakes that I made in my fitness journey. And I'm bringing them up so you don't make them. Because I'll be honest with you, when I actually corrected these three mistakes, training not only became a whole lot more fun for me, but I ended up getting a whole lot more results out of it. All right. So bring a pad and a pen out because this one is going to be the one that's going to help you out, given that you're probably doing one of these three things that's holding you back from getting the most results you could possibly get. All right. So before we dive into it, I am gonna pin this combo over here so we know what we're talking about on Insta. But we are rolling on Twitter, Insta, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. You know what's up. So what's up, what's happening. All right. Okay. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today, guys and girls. The three biggest training mistakes that I made in my fitness journey. Well, at least in the earlier portion of it, and how I ended up getting a lot more better results simply by changing those things out or paying attention to detail to the things that I wasn't doing. All right. And again, I was learning along the way, just like many of you guys and girls are learning along the way. What's up, SD? All right. So you might want to bring a pad and a pen out. These three things sound mad simple, but I promise you they'll make that much of a difference in your fitness journey. All right. Let's go. I'm gonna wait for some more people to join over here. I see a lot of you guys joining on TikTok. I see you. Okay. And if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, things of that sort, drop them down over here. And when I'm done my little rant, I will get back to you and I will read each and every single thing that you guys and girls have sent me. All right. So three things, guys and girls, my three biggest mistakes that I made when I was training in the earlier part of my journey. We're going to be dropping those nuggets today. And what I changed in order to actually get more results, to make training more fun for me, and of course to be more time efficient in the gym, not having to spend so many freaking hours to get a workout in when I could just do the same amount of work in less time. Okay, which also equates to more recovery and more muscle building. All right, for those of you that are interested in muscle building, and this will be sort of geared towards that, muscle building and toning, things of that sort, as opposed to just like fat loss in general, which honestly it does apply. It is transferable, it does apply, but today's live stream is going to be geared towards specifically growing muscle and getting leaner and just being more efficient in the gym, right? So if you're already in momentum, this is for you. And if you're not in momentum, still bring a pad and a pen out because it'll help you get into momentum. All right? All right, let's go. Let's get it. All right, so guys and girls, I want to warn you, this is going to be a little bit more on the shorter side for the live streams. Usually I go for like 30 minutes plus. Today we're going to keep it around 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So if you have any questions, any comments, drop them down as I go along the way. And towards the end of it, I will get back to each and every single one of your guys' comments on all platforms. All right? I see you guys. What's happening? What's happening? All right. So first things first. Again, bring out your pad and your pen. You might want to actually pay attention to this. The first thing that I noticed, well, it wasn't that I noticed it myself, but I would look around when I'd see other people training that were like, of course, bigger than me or stronger than me. One thing that I noticed when I was like training in the earlier part of my journey that I wasn't doing, that honestly had such a big impact once I actually started to do, was, again, I'll be honest with you guys and girls, I was not resting enough or not resting at all in between my working sets. All right. So I wasn't resting in between my working sets. Now, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, what does it mean to rest in between your working sets? It's like, it's not anything crazy. Like, it's not like you're going to go, like, fucking bring your bed to the gym and, like, take a nap and all that shit in between your set. No. It's like this. It's like, in order to at least push yourself to 90 to 100% for each and every single set, you got to give yourself at least 30 to 90 seconds, depending on what you're doing, depending on how heavy you're pushing, and the reps, the volume, things of that sort. It depends on a lot of things, but you got to give yourself time in between the sets to rest, to get your oxygen levels back up, to feel, like you can actually lift again and put 100% of effort into it again, without essentially suffocating yourself. All right. So what I mean is this: when I started, like when I was like beginning my journey, guys and girls, like my fitness journey, I would. This is just an example. We'll talk about bench press. I'd go in the bench press. I'd go, set the barbell up for one plate, get bang it out, do a couple of reps, immediately throw on some more weight and do some, a couple of reps, more weight, do a couple of reps. And I understood that progressive resistance is what I needed to do, which is just to keep it simple, progressive resistance is just, guys and girls, it's just adding more weight or adding more volume to your workout. It's either adding more reps or adding more weight. Like, I understood that was a thing, and that's what I needed to do in order to build muscle, but I did not rest in between the sets, or at least I didn't rest enough. Like, I'd go back to back to back with like 5 to 10 seconds of rest. And what I found out was, even though the weight that I was adding onto the barbell wasn't a lot every single set, I felt less and less capable of doing it. And I mean, of course, yes, it's progressive resistance. It should get more difficult. But it was like there's difficulty, and then there's just like incapability. Like, I felt incapable of doing it because I would literally be winded before I bring that bar down. You know what I'm saying? And that was not ideal. Like, you don't want to be doing that. So what I noticed was when I started to actually give myself 30, 45, sometimes even 90 seconds, depending on how heavy I was going, in between those sets on the bench press, I was able to actually perform with the same weight that I was last week or the week prior to that, a whole lot better, with a lot more control. I wasn't feeling as winded, right? So I was paying attention to detail with my rest. And with that, I was able to get a whole lot more out of my workouts, right? So the first thing that I messed up on in the beginning of my training was not resting enough in between sets. And when I started resting enough in between sets, 30 to 90 seconds, I was able to be more capable of performing at a higher level. And again, pushing myself with progressive resistance, again, just to recap, adding more volume or adding more weight, a whole lot better, right? So that's rule number one. Not the rule, but the mistake that I made that I want you guys and girls to jot down. The first mistake that I made was not resting enough in between sets. All right, and I see you guys and girls here, and I do appreciate you. If you have any questions or comments, jot them down, and at the end of my little rant here, I will get back to you and I'll read them all. All right, so I appreciate you. All right, so the second thing, guys and girls, the second thing that I messed up on in the beginning of my training journey was not incorporating, and this sort of like ties into the first one, right? Because you want to have your rest in between sets, but this is something else. This is kind of different. It ties into the first one I was talking about, though. It was not incorporating high volume drop sets, like giant sets, triple sets, supersets even, right? So for those of you guys and girls that don't know what these things are, it's like, for example, a giant, or we'll say a superset is two different workouts that you compile into one. So let's say, just to keep it simple, we'll keep it simple again, bench press, okay? Your bench press and push-ups. You can combine those two together because they work in the same muscle group, right? And when you do one set of bench press and you do another set of push-ups together, that counts as one set, right? That gets a superset, just a simple superset, just so you guys and girls get like an idea. But that was one thing that I strayed away from. I was like pretty much only on my compounds, which is squat, deadlift, and bench press. I did some dumbbell work, some accessory work here and there, but I never really supersetted much at the beginning of my journey. And it was for no good reason. I was just focused mainly on strength and compound training, because I wanted to get stronger, of course, and I did understand that the stronger I got, the more muscle I put on my frame. But not incorporating high volume drop sets is one of the many things that honestly held me back from making as much possible progress as I could have made in the beginning of my journey. Right? So another example would be like, I do this now. I do this incredible giant set where it's a superset technically, but it has 10 sets in it. So it would be for arms specifically, right? And I did it in my most recent YouTube video. If you guys and girls haven't checked that out, hit my bio, hit my link tree, it's in there. Check out my YouTube video. And for those of you watching on YouTube right now, live streaming, check that out. You know what's up. But I would get my bicep curls and my tricep extensions sort of supersetted on the cable. So one cable I'd have the biceps set up, and the other cable I'd have the triceps set up. And I would do a 10 to 12 set drop set, which is also a superset, in order to get as much possible volume blasted into my arms. That's something that I do nowadays. But back then, all I'd really do is get the barbell and curl, or get the dumbbells and curl, and just do one workout. And I'll tell you this much, guys and girls, for the smaller muscle groups, like for the biceps, the triceps, for calves even, like they're way more stubborn to grow. Like they don't grow with the same amount of, or the same application to training when it comes to like your chest or your back or things of that sort. You have to train it differently, right? The smaller muscle groups do need a lot more attention to detail and a lot more volume if you really want to grow them. So one thing that worked for me, guys and girls, was actually incorporating high volume drop sets, high volume giant sets, high volume supersets. Think just high volume and supersets, triple sets, or giant sets. And that really, really helped me fast track my training, make me get more results also in a more crunch period of time. So I don't have to spend time doing this one workout and this one workout and this one workout when I could compile all three of them, make that a triple set, do 2 or 3 sets of that, and I'm smoked, right? Which makes it more efficient, right? Less time costly. So if you're busy outside of the gym and you have a life, you can actually go live your life because you're not, spending every second in the gym, right? Another one I'll give you is and this is my favorite one now. I always do this, and I know a lot of people ask me how I built my shoulders and stuff, and this is how I did it. Again, at the beginning of my journey, I didn't see many results, and the reason was because I was not doing this number 2, right? Not incorporating high volume drop sets, or drop sets or high volume in general. So this one is actually a triple set, and when you look at the delts, when you look at the shoulders, it's like 3 heads, right? You got your frontal, your medial, frontal, your lateral, and your rear. Okay? Posterior, medial, anterior. Right? The back, middle, and the front. It's 3 heads of the shoulder. Right? The front, the middle, the back. So, understanding this, I created a triple set that works for me. And I get most of my clients to do it. Most of the ones that are, on the level of building up the muscle in that area. I get them to do it. So it's like this. I'll do the frontal raises for 8 to 12 reps. The lateral raises for 8 to 12 reps, and then either the reverse pec deck or reverse flies with dumbbells for 8 to 10 reps. And that targets each and every single one of the heads, because there's 3 heads, and it's a triple set, so I don't have to actually go train the fronts and then go train the middle and then train the back, which would take a whole lot more time. I can condense that into one set, okay, call that a triple set, and do that triple set for 2 to 3 sets. And minimize the amount of rest. Of course, still get my rest, which is why I said it ties into the first one. You got to get your rest in between every triple set. So I'll do 1, 2, and 3. In between that, I'll rest for maybe 20 to 25 or even 30 seconds, 45 if I'm really feeling spent, and then get back into it for another 2 to 3 sets. Right? And that's what honestly helped grow my shoulders naturally. Right? For those of you guys and girls that don't know, I am a natural bodybuilder, and I don't know why I have to keep saying it. It's like literally the number 1 thing in my bio on Insta. But anyway, that's another thing that I wanted to bring to you guys and girls today. Not incorporating high volume drop sets, supersets, triple sets, giant sets will first of all make it a whole lot, I'll say more time costly in the gym to train, and also it will take away from the intensity of your workout. And you want to have intense workouts, guys and girls. You need to have those things. That's what's going to condition you. Okay? So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys and girls about, which is honestly, I think something that everybody here watching can relate to, is not actually pushing yourself in the gym. Like when I say not pushing yourself, I'm not saying that you're going there to taking it easy, you're taking it easy on yourself. I'm saying like you go in there and you stick to the same weight that you were lifting last week, and the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. 4 weeks you've been lifting the same weight. Like you don't increase the weight, even if it's incrementally, even if it's like 2.5 pounds every week, you increase your weight. A lot of people don't do that, and at the beginning of my journey, I wasn't doing that. I was sticking to the same weight on the bench press, the same weight on the squats, the same weight on the deadlifts, the same weights, for the dumbbells. I just didn't think about adding more weight every single week. And guys and girls, that's one thing you really want to be doing if you want to make serious progress in the gym. That's one thing you really want to be doing if you want to actually gain strength. Because believe it or not, your strength isn't just going to hop on like that. You have to incrementally add weight, even if it's 2.5 pounds a week, as I said. You'd be surprised. 2.5 pounds in a week is 10 pounds in a month. So if I put 2.5 pounds on my bench press each and every single week, by the end of the month, I have 10 pounds on that bench press. Right? And that's one thing at the beginning of my journey that I just wasn't paying any attention to. It's not like I was deliberately not doing it. I just didn't pay mind. Like I wasn't thinking about it. So that's one thing I really want you guys and girls to actually do. The next time you go into the gym and you've realized that the weight you've been lifting is the same weight you've been lifting for like, I don't know, 3 months, 2 months, a month even, start to slowly challenge yourself by putting 2.5 to 5 pounds on one set, every week. If you do 2.5 pounds on every set, every week, in 1 month, that's 10 pounds. If you do 5 pounds every set, every week that you add on incrementally, that's 20 pounds in a month that you just got stronger by lifting. Like you now can lift 20 pounds more because you are able to add 5 pounds each and every single set for every single week that you're lifting whatever weight, right? So that's one thing I want you guys and girls to be cognitive of. Sticking to the same weight is not that bad. I'll tell you this much. It's not that bad if you're increasing your reps because you are increasing your volume in that sense, right? But if you're not increasing your reps and you're not increasing the volume, then you better be increasing the weight, right? Because that's like one of the number one ways to gauge the level of strength that you're actually accumulating over time. And as I said, there are no big leaps to be made. That's actually not possible. You have to add that weight incrementally. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm going to recap it again. I'm going to let you guys and girls know the 3 biggest training mistakes that I made, and then I'm going to run through some of the comments over here, and then we will jet. All right, so the first thing, guys and girls, was not resting enough in between sets. Like I would just go set after set after set, and then wonder why I wasn't able to perform my best. Now I compare it and I look back, I'm like, I'm performing a whole lot better with a whole lot more weight because I actually breathe in between sets, give myself 30 to 90 seconds, depending on what workout I'm doing. That's the first mistake I made, not resting enough between sets. The second mistake that I made, guys and girls, was not incorporating high volume drop sets, triple sets, giant sets, things of that sort. That was the second mistake I was making. Okay, and when I started to incorporate them, I noticed that with the amount of extra volume added, my muscles were growing a lot quicker, and it took a whole lot less time in the gym for me to get a whole lot more out of my workout. So as I had more time to do things outside the gym, because I was able to condense certain movements that were aligning with each other, as I said with the shoulder one, you can watch the replay because I'm not going to explain that again, right? So check that out, right? That shoulder triple set, I'm telling you, that's like my bread and butter. Hey, what's up, bro? I see you, dog. Much love. See you, fatty. What's up? All right. And the third one, last but not least, was sticking to the same weights, guys and girls. As I said, if you're not increasing the amount of reps that you're doing each and every single week with the same weights, you better be increasing the weight by 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever you can handle each and every single week. 2.5 pounds every single week added on whatever lift you're doing is a total of 10 pounds in the month. 5 pounds added each and every single week, it's a total of 20 pounds in the month. It compounds. Small steps. All right, so those are the 3 mistakes I made, the 3 biggest mistakes I made in the beginning of my training that I no longer make anymore, of course, that you guys and girls might be making. So I'm bringing it to your attention because I really do give a shit, and I want you guys and girls to not make those mistakes because it honestly made me waste a lot of time in the gym. It made training a lot fun for me, really. It felt like more of a chore than anything else, and also, as I said, like it's you want to make it like fit with your schedule without you having to cut out workouts, right? So the best way to make it fit your schedule without cutting out workouts is incorporating triple sets, drop sets, things that will get you high volume out of it, right? And keep you like aligned when it comes to what else you have to do outside the gym, the life you have outside the gym. Because honestly, I used to waste 2.5 hours plus in the gym, and I say waste because I could have got better results, a better workout in 1.5 hours, 1 hour 45 minutes by compiling movements that were aligned with each other, like the shoulder ones that I said. 3 heads of the shoulder, frontal, lateral, rears, as opposed to training the frontal by itself, the medial by itself, and the rears by itself. Compile them all together, make that a high volume drop set, triple set. You're neat. All right, so let me read some of the comments I got here on Insta, and then we're going to jet. All right, all right. I'm gonna shout out some people here. Sangita, I see you. Bella, what's up? Jermaine, Bianca's in the house was good. SD says, bro, the rest is high key a struggle for me. Even outside the gym, I'm definitely still learning to incorporate effective rest. Do it, because if you don't, you also do increase your risk for injury, which is something that I didn't say earlier. But you got to keep your mind on that. All right, you might increase your risk for injury if you don't give yourself enough rest. All right, David, I see you. APAC fit. Tatu was good. Sharma77, what's happening? No love for him. You know what's up? I see you, dog. I see you, big bro. Yoku Samuel, what's up? Bianca says, true. Not a lot of people think about the concept of progressive overload. I don't know whether it's because we just want to finish the workout or because we are just preoccupied with other things. It could just be a lack of knowledge. And I'm not going to focus on the reason why they're not incorporating it. I'm just going to be the person that says I used to make that mistake too. Because when I look back at it, I mean, there was no good reason, as I said, right? But when I gained the knowledge of it, that's when I started incorporating it. So here I am to tell you guys and girls, so you guys and girls get some knowledge, so you can actually apply it and see how that works for you. So I like how you worded that, Bianca. I appreciate you always showing up to each and every single live stream, no matter what. SD says that last one couldn't be me. I hated seeing the same weight on the bar or whatever. I low-key feel, sometimes I would increase the weights too quickly. Okay, so and that's what I'm saying, man. So as I said, when I say sticking to the same weights, I'm not just saying like you have to add weight each and every single week. But what I am saying is you got to be getting stronger every week. And if you're not adding more weight, then you better be doing more reps. Okay, so if you can stick to the same weight and do more reps than you did last week, and it's easier for you to do more reps than you did last week, then that's a good sign that you're able to add the weight so you don't fuck up and increase your weights too quickly. So keep that in mind, bro. Food for thought. All right. Oh, what's this? All right. So OTW Forever, what's up? Blessings. Styles, I see you, dog. I appreciate you. Bianca says, sometimes pushing yourself is good, but you need to rest. Muscles need breathers too. Fuck yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you're not even wrong. 100%. Bianca says, like you said, every time you lift heavy, weights consecutively. Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. Every time you lift heavy weight consecutively in a workout, your muscle fibers tear, which hurts. It does fucking hurt. And I mean, you don't really feel it much in the gym, but afterwards, when you're resting at home or the day after, DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, yeah, it fucking burns like shit, and it hurts. But that's why we rest outside of the gym. So why not rest in between the set? The more rest, the merrier. All right, guys and girls. If you have any other questions, we're at 4:30 EST, and I usually dip out at this time. But if you got any more questions or any concerns, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, I will gladly take it on. No issues at all. No problemo. So Bianca says something else again. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. All right, so I guess I got nothing else from anyone else here. So let's check it out. Peace out, Twitter. All right, so she says, resting even briefly gives your muscles a chance to relax and repair, especially during a long-term rest, like sleep. Yep, exactly. Rest is good. I don't know why people, fear it. And going to what I was saying before, like for myself, like it was just because I would, again, because I wasn't incorporating supersets, triple sets, things that make it more time efficient in the gym to train. I felt like I always had to be in a rush because I had so many fucking movements to do, so many workouts to do, and not enough time to do it. Which is why I said the first mistake tied in with the second mistake. The first mistake of not getting enough rest tied in with the mistake of not, incorporating high volume sets, like drop sets, giant sets, super sets, triple sets, right? So, like subconsciously, I was like, I don't have enough time, so let me just like not rest and fucking blast through this workout because I wasn't, pairing up workouts that had congruent movements. All right, so I love that you said that. All right, so it seems to be. Oh, she's got a question for me. Bianca's got a question for me. So she says, doesn't stretching help to keep your muscles elastic and flexible so you can't incorporate while you rest? Yes and no. So what I would say, like from my personal experience, is dynamic stretches work like magic when you're working out. I would recommend 100% to do dynamic stretches during your workouts. Right? Foam rolling, absolutely. But static stretches during your workout, I would not recommend. right? Unless you're not even if you're doing isometric workouts, right? Because you want to be able to train the like make sure your joints are functional, like you can move them around, right? Because you're not going to be training in a static state. So to get your muscles all frozen up is one of the worst things you could do. You know, it stiffens you up, and it goes against the elastic part while you're working out. But I would recommend static stretches after the workout, right? So dynamic during the workout, you know, dynamic stretches for you guys and girls that don't know is the stretches that you're moving around, you know, this and that, all this, you know, moving around, dynamic. But the static ones are where you're like frozen, like you're holding this, right? Or you're holding this, right? So static stretches after the workout, dynamic stretches while you work out. So I like that's a really good question because a lot of people have that question in mind, and I think I just answered it. All right, and that's why I always appreciate you coming on to this live stream, girl, because you ask a lot of questions I know a lot of people have. That's dope. All right, that's it. That's all. I will be back again tomorrow with another live stream after I read Bianca's final comment because she loves to comment, and I love reading it. I don't mind. All right. I hope you guys and girls have a sick ass Monday and that you actually got your work done today. Okay. She says, true dynamic stretches help get the blood flowing, get the oxygen where it needs to be. Absolutely. Right. And again, let's not forget the joints, the mobility, right? It makes those workouts more fluid. All right. So you can have a better range of motion. Let's go. I hope you have a great fucking day, Bianca. Much love. And anybody else who's watching this, I hope you have the greatest fucking day of your life. All right. We out. Let's go. Later, TikTok. Facebook, we out. All right, YouTube. That's it. That's all. Peace. Mistakes that I made in my fitness journey.